Hello visuals and welcome to the channel. I said that with a bit of pain tonight. Welcome back. I'm not in, well, at the minute I'm not in pain. Maybe later. Maybe I'm foreshadowing. Hello visuals, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Superhero Wednesday, the day of the week where we like to get damn right down and nerded up, dog. We had a nice early walk this morning just to make sure that the sun doesn't get to him. And I think it's tuckered you out, hasn't it, pal? You just look in disgust. But visuals, it's Superhero Wednesday. It's time to do a spoiler video because we're going to count down my 10 favourite moments from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. 10 favourite moments / scenes. I like doing these videos not long after we've watched the movie. Not long. This movie for me was last week, but this video will go up and this film come out 3 weeks ago. We'll probably be doing the same again for Transformers. And at the time of recording, I've just been in Transformers Rise of the Beast, the first showing on the Thursday of the 8th that it's released. The 8th? Ah, fuck knows. We're going to talk about Spider-Man. 10 favourite scenes and moments. Anything that happened in this film, it could be a single line, it could be a phrase or an image. 10 of my favourite things to come from this film, they're in this video. And then let us know your favourite things. To be fair, the thumbnail, I already know what I'm going to put the thumbnail. It speaks for itself. This whole film could just be number one. Everything about this film, I know I'm biased, is perfection on another level. It is God mode in terms of films. This, just for me, this was so outstanding. I know I'm biased because anything spider related, I'm like, oh, spider spunk everywhere. I fucking love it. But visuals, I had to try and rank something, and I wanted to get a video out of this, and it was hard doing this list because it was all beautiful. You'll probably see in the background, I have I don't know how to say her name. Coileray. Coileray? Is that how you say her name? It's the song where Gwen's going... I've said this so many times in videos lately. At the start of the film, after she's done the drum, Craig gone out nuts on the drums and shit, and she's on the train station, there's images of Miles in the back. This song keeps playing, Self-Love. I've had it on non-stop repeat. I've fallen completely in love with this song. And I think she's the girl that sings that... Apple want to bite. I just want to have a good night. Hold up. I think that's she sings that. If I'm saying your name wrong, love, not that you'll ever stumble across this. Coileray and somebody called Metro Boomin. You guys have made a phenomenal song. You guys have made one of my favourite songs of all time because I will always associate it with that Gwen intro opening. The intro. I know it's not quite the intro. It's a bit further in, but the intro to this beautiful film. But visuals, here's my 10 favourite moments from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Even looking at my list now, I want to change it. Right, no. No, okay, we'll leave it. We'll leave it as it is. We'll stick with it. This could easily change. Number 10, we're going to go with Peter B. Parker's introduction. Now, it's not like the introduction like the first film, but just seeing him again, rocking up. This time he's got his little girl with him and he's got his dressing gown and whatnot. It gives us that wholesome, like, humble family togetherness moment because it just made me instantly, the second I saw him come out, you go easy on the kid, he had a bad teacher. It took me back to the first one where Miles is holding before he goes back into his dimension, like, it's a leap of faith and all this kind of stuff. All these images flushed back between the relationship between this Spider-Man, Peter B. Parker, and Miles Morales in it. I love these two together, and even how things played out because obviously the chase sequence comes not long after this, and how he did his part of the chase sequence. Yes, he wasn't completely innocent in all of it, but he still tried to approach him a different way because he does truly love Miles, and what he said to him is true, but he's thinking of the grand scheme of things and whatnot. But just seeing him again, and it was played by Nick Miller, well, not Nick Miller himself. I will always call Nick Miller from New Girl, one of my favourite shows of all time. But just hearing, it's Jake Johnson, his name in it, just hearing his voice again as that, just gives them like little, lovey moments. 9, I've just titled Final Moments. Now, this is the combination of everything that's happening. We're at the end of the film. You know, everything's played out. We've got to where we are about to get to our cliffhanger. Spider-Woman, Scarlet Spider, and Spider-Man 2099 have gone to where they think Miles is. Gwen's gone. She's been sent back to her world, but she realised that Spider-Punk's left a device for her, you know, so his own travel watch, whatever the fuck you want to call it, to go where and when she needs. She realised she's in the wrong spot. She manages to get Scarlet Spider out of there. But at the same time, we've got this scenario playing out between Miles and Miles the Prowler with his uncle there as well. And you've got all these final moments building up with this big climactic ending and then finally finishing on, like I said, the big Gwen and her team and everything like that. And oh, it was just like a, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, all these things playing out, and just they're all looking for Miles, but he's not there. He's in Earth 42 and stuff. But it was just phenomenal visuals, and it was amazing. What a way to end a film! But what a way to be sat there like, I need the next one now. Hey, I'm gonna say, well, you might notice me do that because I'm gonna have to bite my lip because it's gonna make it. At the end of this song, they do the in every other universe. Gwen Stacy falls first for Spider-Man, and every universe doesn't end so well. And it's like, but every moment these guys have together. Now, there's a lot of moments, yes, when she comes back and they're webbing around and whatnot, but more specifically, I'm thinking of the moment where they're on the big building and they sit underneath one of the the pillars, whatever the fuck it is, that starts sticking out. And Gwen sat there, she ties her hair back, and she sits, and it's like they have this beautiful moment because these two really are intertwined. Even Miles goes to put his hand on her and whatnot. It's when she's saying this big thing, he pulls it back, and there's a first time for everything, and we're the same, you and I, and everything. It's just it's one of the best love stories I've ever watched, and it feels even harder because I watched this film shitloads of times. It was 6 times in total I saw this film at the cinema. And it hits even harder knowing that later on, she's not necessarily going to betray him, but she's doing, like Peter B. Parker, she's doing what she thinks right, for the grand scheme of things, for everything. We know that's going to change now because she's carrying up a team and whatnot. But just at the moment between these two that, they've wanted to be together for so long. She says it at the start of the film, like, I really want to be with you, but I can't get to you and all that kind of stuff. And he really wants to see her, and she's doing all the doodles and whatever. And it's like, oh my god, I fucking love you two. Will you just hurry up and fucking be together? It's teenage love drama. I'm a 30-year-old bloke interested. What the fuck does that mean? But it's because you chuck a spider. If that was just a normal teen show, I'd be like, that's rubbish. You chuck a spider symbol on each of them, I'm like, oh my god, I'm here for the long haul. But them two together is just, 7 is a nice, easy one, and it's the introduction of Miguel OHara, Spider-Man 2099. I remember when he made that appearance at the end of the first film, and I was like, oh, he's here. Where's he? Look at that little beautiful bud. But can you even see him? I'll bring him over. You can come for this bit, seeing as this segment's all about you. That's his official pop for the new Across Spider-Verse film. That's such a beautiful blue, isn't it? He's dusty already. He's only been out of the box for like a week. But his introduction, where he comes in and medieval vultures, fight with SpiderGwen. He comes in and he gives like that sort of look, and then the interaction that's like a bit harsh, but at the same time a bit funny and a bit silly and a bit goofy between the two of them. And he shows off a lot of his capabilities and his skills and his power and his technology and shit inside of that introduction. And I just love it because he is one of my favourite spiders of all time. And next up, number 6, I think we're on. It's Spider-Man versus the Spot, the first sort of battle, because I like this fight in this matchup because it seems at the time, again, the Spot where he's down at the end of the table. You can just see him over there. Because it kind of, once you've seen it multiple times and stuff, and I'm guessing obviously you guys would have noticed anyway, it's more significant what it is, but at the time it just feels like a low-key battle. The fact that Miles is even saying you're barely villain of the week and all that kind of stuff, but then you hear about the big picture, and how he was, the Miles from 42, he said the spider it wasn't going to bite him, but the Spot took that spider, brought it to this world and all that carry on. Miles created the Spot created the Miles, they're intertwined forever and all this carry on, and the way the Spot goes at the end being that black crazy artwork animating that's shaky and moving about and whatnot. He's like, I'm going to take everything for you. And then where he's heading again, I should have mentioned that in the final scenes moment as well, where he's on his way to take out Miles' dad and stuff. But it's because I'm watching it with hindsight, knowing that when I first watched it, going, oh, this is fun, and Miles kicked him, his foot's gone through there, he just wants an ATM, he's in that Jamaican lad's store and stuff, blah blah blah. And then watching again, going, oh, this is more significant, and this means this is the foundation of a huge, massive picture, because it's not like introduction, here's a little villain, now we're getting to the big thing. No, the big thing was right there the whole time, and it kind of hits different the more times you see it. So the Spider-Man versus the Spot, number 1. Nueva York, it's more of the introduction. It's because it's where Spider-Man 2099's from. I love seeing it on the big screen in 3D and not live action but animated. Just seeing Nueva York, And then getting our first real look in there when Miles, you know, forces himself through, and we go through and have a look, and you're like, oh shit, and it's where all the different spider people are and shit. And this one's more of a bit of just a personal one, because like I said, I'm such a big fan of Spider-Man 2099. Been reading his books for fucking years now, and to actually see it on the big screen was like a nice little moment. I'm sure for a lot of other Spider fans as well, but for me as well, it was a lot of like, oh my god, we're here in the big screen. We are literally here, and it's more of like a moment. 4 is the chase. Not any real specific part of the chase, just the whole thing, starting from the innocent nature of Miles going around looking at everybody. You know, oh, Donald Glover. Yeah, I know it's not part of the chase, but the build up. Love that moment, by the way. That's a huge honourable mention. Donald Glover just chilling in the corner. But the build-up from starting to Miles basically, stay here. Yeah, we need this canon event to happen. Your dad's going to have to die. To Miles being like, no chance. Well, Spider was supposed to save everybody. To Spider-Punk even saying, use your whole hand, not your fingertips. Getting out, and away we go. But the stops that we take along this chase to look at all the different Spider-Men and Spider-Women and Spider-related people from all different parts of the universe and the multiverse. And we have that fun interacting moments. The old OG animated one coming in, being like, oh, and missing away and shit. Our big old Tiny Spider Boy coming in and kicking off and having it a couple of moments. Ben Reilly being his fun, weird, crazy self. The Peter B. Parker moment, all the way to the bit where we get onto the big subway, motorway, rocket, whatever the fuck that thing was, going into the moon. And we get Miles going away at the top, and then you're looking down and seeing every spider. And he says to Miguel, he's like, I've managed to bring out all your spiders to up here chasing me. That place is left unguarded. And even the speech that Miguel says to him, you know, you weren't supposed to be a spider. That spider was somebody else. There's a word out there without spider. Even when he's saying that, the first time watching, you're like, oh shit, that's pretty bad. And you don't realise how impactful that actually is till you get to that bit. But the speech he gives him and all that carrying, and Miles like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. You're like, fucking go on, lad. I never would have thought I'd be happy to see Spider-Man lose. I'd be like, even though it was against a Spider-Man, usually I'm like, nah, Spider-Man, I want you to win, Spider-Man, whatever. But you see them all after him, and the fact that, I know technically he didn't like hand-to-hand beat all of them, but Miles technically did beat every Spider person that was there, and that's such a badass OG fucking epic thing for him. He's like one of the youngest and most novice spiders there, and he just not took him out, but like he's managed to outsmart and outplay everybody there. Bravo, kudos, fucking legend. But that whole sequence is just phenomenal. The film itself is the greatest animated film. This is the first one of all time, but the animation alone in that one, where Miguel's clambering his way back up and how vicious he is and hitting all that, so beautiful. The whole thing, outstanding. The reveal of Earth's 42 Miles. Miles going back. Again, you could argue it's the whole start of this, where Miles gets to his, what he thinks is his room, speaks to his mum, and what he thinks is his mum, and he said, you know, blah blah blah, I'm Spider-Man. Who is this, for one of them Comic-Con things? Blah blah blah. Carry on. His uncle walks in. You're like, oh fuck, and that's when you're like, oh shit, because it's easy to overlook. It's when he's getting sent back, it's so easy to overlook. So I could see a lot of people in the cinema when the first watch, like, oh my god, because we get to that epic moment where you're like, oh, you know, the Prowler's like, I'm not the Prowler, and you see him at the distance with that beautiful Prowler music they have for these films. It is so hauntingly fucking beautiful because it's terrifying. Oh fuck! And then come down, drop reveal, and it's like he finds, obviously as well, he sees the mural of his dad. We know his dad's dead in this world. There's no spider. New York's like on, you know, bits on fire and stuff. And you get the reveal, and it's Miles facing Miles. The ultimate test for Miles, as it stands at the minute, is Miles, and you're like, oh my god, this symmetry here is beautiful. And as well, going back and seeing all the, like, I'm assuming you would have noticed, like, the sketches and what, when the Spot's doing his flashback, you can see this Miles about to be bit by the spider, but then it coming back and whatnot. There's so much great foreshadowing in these films, especially when you go back and watch the first one and realizing when the spider's glitching and stuff, everything about it, the full circles and the loops and the symmetry and that is just outstanding. But yes, the realization and the shock moment of, it's Miles versus Miles. Miles has got Miles, and Miles needs to get out because Miles is now up against Miles Prowler. And you're like, oh, this is just fucking epic. And the way that it ends, and the music's getting harder and heavier and hitting, and like I said, Gwen's on her way, and Spider 299's there, and all this shit's playing out. The Spot's about to go for his dad. Oh, it's beautiful. 2 is simply a nice short one, and it's the combination of Spider-Gwen's team, and more specifically because we see the OGs return, and we see Spider-Ham, Noir, Penny Parker, the old Peter B. Parker is obviously there. The old crew from the first film are back in this, ready to rock and roll, and I cannot wait. I hopefully they're all still voiced. Like, hopefully Nick Cage is back for Noir and stuff. Hopefully that's all back up to code. But it was just nice because you see her, then the camera pans out and you see the other team, and I remember my first viewing like, all the boysies and girls are here, fucking let's do this, let's go get Miles, let's fucking go. What a way to end a film. And, you know, Gwen, that she leads the charge, and like, yes, come on. I'm so amped, I'm getting goosebumps. Number 1 is the whole entire Spider-Gwen introduction, from all the way from the start to banging on them drums to her in the museum fighting Vulture, medieval Vulture, Spider-Man 29, all the whole sequence of Spider-Gwen. But more importantly, this, I can't play it for you because I know this is a shit, small, tiny ass channel, no one gives a fuck about it, but I'll still probably get into some kind of trouble if I even have to show a little bit of the song. But please, just please, I'll tell you one more time, Self-Love, Coy Leray, I think her name is, go listen to it, because when that, like, I feel it when she's like, you know, I joined this band so I can hit my, hit my feelings with sticks and all this kind of stuff, and she leaves, and then this music starts to play, and she's going through the train. Oh my God, don't cry down. Jesus fucking Christ, I've cried enough at this film. Guardians did it, now this did it, fuck. She's going through the train, and like, you know, as she's going between people, she changes from her costume to her, because she's fighting so many demons inside of herself as well. Obviously, Peter Parker, one of her best friends ever, died at, you know, fighting her. Not her fault really, but he turns out into a lizard and all that kind of stuff. She's being blamed for the death of him by her own father, the captain, and all this stuff's playing out, and this music's in the background. But as well as that, you've got the images of Miles and like the different, you know, the windows of the train and all that kind of shit, and the song's playing, "Wait there, self-love," and you're like, oh my God. And I just, Spider-Gwen, I haven't weighed out everybody and my favourite particular characters from this because it's so hard, but it might be safe to say that for me, Gwen stole this film. Miles was obviously stand out. I mean, I still want to take him though. I don't know, but Gwen was just so fucking stupidly phenomenal in this, and Haley Steinfeld does a phenomenal job voicing her, and just the emotion. And I love the way that Spider, because we regular viewers of the channel, sorry I'm rambling here now, know how much the Spider story means to me. It is the most important story in my entire life because it's what led to all of this. If I didn't fall in love with Spider-Man, we can't necessarily say I'd fall in love with everything. Yeah, you might say Pokemon and stuff still, but to the grand scheme of things, it was because when I was 5 or whatever it was, I got my first Spider-Man comic, and that was it. My life was changed. And always seeing different spiders, who they are, going through these world of hurts and these changes and these emotional drains, but still got to be the good guy and keep your head up and, you know, look after the little person and all that kind of stuff. It's just, it's heartbreaking, and seeing Gwen knowing that, you know, she needs to do the right thing, she has to do the right thing, but she's got all these challenges. She can't even tell her dad's out to arrest her and get her. Her friends in that band won't even let her just express herself and shit, and everything feels like it's closing in. The one person she wants to see, she can't get to, and it's just so much and so beautiful and just absolutely outstanding. And I can't wait to actually finish this video and carry on playing this song so I can have a little, whenever they get to the end of the song, I always give a little thingy moment because I'm just such a fucking girl, but I don't care, I love it. But visuals, number 1 is basically all of Spider-Gwen's intro. And if anybody out there kicks off and says, we need more, powerful women in film, we need more women, this is one of the biggest statements. This is one of the most powerful things I've ever seen, the intro to this. And if anybody's ever going, oh, Spider, it should be more women related, I'm sorry, but there you go. That is one of the biggest and best things to ever come from any Spider-Man film, and it's centered and led by a woman. So there we have visuals. That was my 10 favorite scenes, moments, things that went down inside of this film. There's a lot more. Like I said, the whole film from start to finish. Yes, I'm being biased. There could be people that agree with me and find the flaws of the film. Even if there's somebody out there that can't stand this film, please let me know in the comments below why, because obviously we're all looking at it from our different angles. I'm looking at it from my narrative and your blah, blah, blah. but visuals, my favourite moments from across the Spider-Verse. I can't wait to be back, not just for the Transformers, but I can't wait to back to do one of these videos Superhero Wednesday for my favourite moments for Beyond the Spider-Verse, because we know that's where we're going next. It was going to be part 1, part 2. It still is a part 1, part 2. It's the same story in different chapters, but I can't wait to do that. But visuals, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me ramble on about more Spider shenanigans and literally visuals. You guys are literally the best. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, always keep being you and keep on web slinging on.